So in my last video, I talked about the pain points of an unemployed person and questions that or statements that people make that makes matters worse. And I went on a full-on rant, but today I'm calmer and I'm well aware that it is not everyone who makes the statement that has ill intention. Some people just mean well, but they don't know exactly what to do or what to say. And for this group of people, I would like to mention a few things you can do or say to an unemployed loved one or even a stranger. Ask how they are doing instead of how the job search is going. Now, asking them if they found anything might feel like you're trying to keep up with them and all, but it doesn't help the job seeker because it just increases their stress level. They already know the progress report of their job search so far, and it just keeps reminding them that they haven't gotten anything. If your loved one has gotten something, you don't have to ask, they will tell you. So instead of asking how is the job search going or have you found anything yet, ask them how they are doing. And this gives them an opportunity to share how they feel and how they've been coping with their current season so far. Listen and listen intently. Listen empathetically. Listen to understand, not to jump into advice mode. Listen to validate how they feel, knowing that it isn't easy to be in the place they are in now and they have every right to feel how they feel at the moment. So instead of listening so that you can jump into an advice or a suggestion, listen so that they can really tell you how they feel and you can help them feel better. You can help them feel better by giving kind words or gestures. If you're physically present with a friend who doesn't mind physical touch, you can give them a hug. You can ask them how they would want to be helped at this point instead of advising them. Okay? Third one is advice. Yes, I said it. Advice. I know in the previous point I said listen and not jump into advising. However, the point is to know what time it is to switch to advising. Don't just listen to someone and quickly start giving them advice. Listen to them to validate them and to actually understand where they are coming from. But if you have helpful and useful suggestions that could help them land a job sooner or something, then share it with them. Just share it with them at the right time. Refer and recommend them to any opportunity that you find. If you see a job opening or there is a hidden recruitment going on in your company, you can recommend your friend. You can ask them to send their resumes or CVs to you. You can give them links to some certain jobs that you could apply to. That is also helpful. Pray for them. Do not underestimate the power of prayer. God does answer prayer. And for your friend right now, like I already said, a person who is dealing with prolonged unemployment can also be dealing with depression, shame, isolation, stress, etc. And when you're dealing with depression and all of these mental issues, it is more difficult for a person to keep on praying and firing prayers. So as a helpful friend or family member or loved one, you can pray for them. It doesn't have to be monetary value. You don't have to give any advice. You can just go into your prayer closet and pray for your friend. That's helpful too. Invite them out. Now you might think that they can't afford lunch or dinner or some getaway, so you would rather not invite them because you are trying to protect them from paying too much because you understand. But what is going through your loved one's mind is that you think that they are now beneath you or any other negative emotions that people think about at this point, but it just makes them feel more isolated and alienated and makes them even feel worse about the fact that they can't afford the things that they would usually afford, and now you are even cutting them out of outings that you guys usually go to. So if they hear about it, they are not going to be thanking you for not inviting them. They are going to be feeling like life sucks even more. So instead, give them the opportunity to decline your invitation based on their pockets. Find time to visit. Sequel to my previous point, find time to visit them. At this point, they are feeling isolated. They are feeling ashamed. They might not be picking their calls as much, giving excuses, refusing to show up for some outings, and sometimes it might be because they can't afford it. Other times it's because they don't want to be the odd one out who is unemployed or out of a job. They don't want to feel like they're lazy, or they don't want to see how much you spend and they don't spend anything. Whatever the case may be, they isolate themselves, they alienate themselves. But everyone needs connection. So you, as the person in a much better, healthy mindset, should find your friend and visit them. Find your loved one and visit them. If they are not going to come to you, go to them. Another very important special point. Please don't get angry or keep malice with your friend because they could not afford your 80k ashwebi. Oga, your friend is jobless. Where do you want them to get that kind of money from? And even if they had that money lying around, they don't know when they're going to land this job. They need to save for the rainy day. Don't be angry with your friends. Don't keep malice. Don't make them feel worse off, worse than they already feel by getting angry because they did not pay ashwebi. Please be understanding. Gift them with funds. Financially support your loved ones, family member, friends. Now, it depends on the relationship. Like if it's a family member, the amount of financial support you give might be higher than that of some friend. But then again, there are some friends that are family. So it depends on your relationship. But I am not asking you to sink because you are trying to support them with everything financially. But once in a while, just give them a random gift of money because they are going to appreciate that. Who knows, you might just be the channel of supply that God is using at this point to help them in this season. However, do not overdo it to a point where they feel incompetent, because the ego will make them feel like they can't do this for themselves, and then they go back into the cycle of feeling ashamed. So I'm saying do this within reason. Be financially helpful, but not overly helpful to the point that they feel incapacitated or you remind them of their incompetence at the moment. Finally, avoid nagging or laying blame. There is nothing that can come out of you criticizing them, even if you are right about your criticism. How has it given them a job? Instead, focus on the way forward. Encourage them on what they can do now going forward. What do we do now is what the focus should be on, because you are not helping matters by dwelling in the past. So that will be all for this video. I hope this was helpful. I'm sure there are more things you can do for your unemployed loved one, but these are some of the ones that I can remember right now. And thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Ciao.